Aloha folks, and welcome to Crusader Kings 2 Holy Fury. I've been given a press copy, so I have the privilege, as usual, by Paradox, to start a Let's Play earlier than release date. And this particular DLC, Holy Fury, brings a bunch of changes. It's just so overwhelming, and we're gonna experiment around with a few of the features. If we take a look at the start screen, we can see two new things at the top, Shatter World and Randomize World. Basically, Shatter World you can do as in mods where you have independent counts and all of that go around, and we're just going to generate a thing here, for example, a Shattered World, where it's all balanced and all the counties are sort of independent. If you randomize your world, you can choose a bunch of things here and basically get a totally random or not so random world where there are totally new religions, new cultures, and new empires and kingdoms and so on and so forth. As we see here, for example, Harfsfjorden, Blessed Udugarian Empire, that's a very big empire right there. And so on and so forth. Also, the number of holdings per area also changes because of that. See, cultures are totally different. Some are, depending on your settings, you might recognize a little bit. But say religions here: Armonite, Avite, Creed of the Zamagna. It's just really cool stuff here. With that said, however, we are going to go ahead and start as someone in Byzantium. I'm not sure if we're going to play as the Emperor just yet, but we're going to try to reform the Hellenic religion and the Roman culture. Yes, it's now possible to be Hellenic again and Roman culture, but it's quite an intricate process, and I'll take you through it once we're in the game. Before we do that, though, I just want to point out just the amazing map changes that have happened. For example, down in Africa, we have so many more places, things going on, which is kind of cool, obviously, because, you know, Mali was the greatest, or the richest empire throughout this period in time, in the early and Middle Ages. There have been some changes to Scandinavia as well, as far as I know. Yes, we can see kinda here has been added, as far as I know, and a lot of stuff in Norway has been added as well. I believe some other places have also been changed quite a bit. I think over here, I'm not really sure. We'll have to see at some point. But yeah, lots of new changes. And that includes the change here in Byzantium. As you see, we have two Byzantine empires and some other sultanate here already in 769, which I don't think was modeled in the same version in the same start date in earlier versions. Also, religiously, I can see here that the Kharajite and the Ibadi faiths really hold sway over here in Eastern or Western North Africa, which is kind of cool. I'm not sure that was modeled in either. I think there were some Ibadi rulers, but I definitely don't remember seeing Kharajites. Oh, there's already a Hellenic province, so that's pretty cool. It looks like Monemvasia, here where Sparta stays Hellenic in this start date, which is really cool. Alright, I think I've decided we're gonna play as the Dukes of Anatolia, Mesilisenos Dynasty. Yes. Sorry for butchering that pronunciation right there. We are gonna be playing as Strategos Michael, and yeah, that's because I don't know. I like playing around the shields. This has a custom shield, so I think playing as the Emperor would be fun as well. We get her thing faster, but you know, it's also fun to try to get to power ourselves, and then we also get to show off some new mechanics that Byzantium has in terms of government form. Just by looking at the game rules here that I always set up to, what is it? I always set up to Major Epidemics, Historical, Aztec Invasion off, Defensive Pacts off, and Devil Worshippers none. There's Holy Fury things here, for example. Children's Crusade can happen. Northern Crusade can happen. The Reconquista can happen. There's Child of Destiny, which is pretty cool. There's a rare chance of characters growing to become great conquerors with higher attributes and special cost spelling, which is pretty cool. And then this is not Holy Fury, but I never saw this, Blood Splatter. I actually wonder what that is. It doesn't really tell me anything about that. So first of all, the screen here, the UI has changed a lot. We have traits. We also have modifiers. They're going to be under here. The titles are here instead. Claims over there, and diplomacy here. Diplomacy, I think, is meant by, if I go to the Emperor, for example, I can click on them and sway or antagonize, which is pretty cool for role-playing reasons. And treasuries over there. You can also see the bloodlines and the kills, which is, of course, very cool. Also, the whole, two Byzantine empires. It's not actually two Byzantine empires, of course. This is just a tributary to the Byzantine emperor, but he is a Slavic pagan. Here we can see the thing I was talking about. Byzantium and the Roman Empire now have a new government form, and it's called Imperialistic Militaristic Autocracy, or Agnatic Imperial Elective. So basically, as you can read here, only relatives of the emperor, commanders, marshals, and claimants are candidates for succession, but basically commanders, that includes myself, can influence the selection of the new emperor, and each member of the imperial court has a different voting strength based on their prestige, minor titles, and attributes. Which is pretty cool. Hopefully we'll get to try it out in its full glory. There are also some new religious mechanics, including the Crusades have been rehauled. We're not Catholic, so that doesn't really matter for us, but there are saints, bloodlines, as we sort of passed through before, which will include saints, which we'll take a look at as we play the game. And for us as iconoclasts, I guess, yeah, nothing major here. We might change religion along the way, though, to becoming Hellenic, because I think the only important thing is that you're either Italian or Greek when you restore the empire, and then you might be able to restore the Hellenic faith. Oh, also, once people actually get the trait fat, or fat is now a trait, it's not just gluttonous, you can become fat, and then you'll actually see the portrait change into a fat man, apparently. Aha, so here, now we can actually nominate a candidate, and we are going to nominate ourselves to be emperor. Oh, fantastic, I'm already dead at age 40. That's just glorious. Right, so now we're only a count, unfortunately. We have lost the title, because it was not a duchy, it was a theme, right? So the emperor grants it to us temporarily. Oh, the bloodline thing, just to show it off, you click here. We have King Karl of West Francia, Charles the Great, of course. He is related to Karl Karling, Karl the Hammer, who defeated the Moorish invasion into Francia. Oh, my mother was pregnant. I wonder if it was... I mean, it's been a few years. Actually, yeah, it's not gonna be with my father, is it? Anyway, I'm gonna spend some time with her. I am quite a terrible ruler. 2, 8, 2, 3, and 4 combat skill. Jesus. It's nice at least that they have separated combat skill from martial now, so you can actually take a look at that. And that's included, there's the different kinds of things when you're in battle. You can have duels with people, and you can join societies that focus on fighting, especially if you're pagan. So it's pretty nice. Oh, our emperor's a cannibal. Great. Pregnancy events are pretty cool. So basically, my wife desires a bunch of things. Let's give her everything. Yes, my son shall be named Michael, after my late father, who died when I was only a 9-year-old child. There we go. My wife has become what you can see in her face there, that she is so. let's tell her to stop eating so much. Sophia, my daughter, yes. Oh, is this new? I think it must be. You know, I have a few thousand hours in Crusader Kings. Rename character, so anyone in your realm that's under the age of 11 can still be renamed. Anastasia, yes. No, as in Anastasia, not as in anesthesia. Jesus, why did I say anesthesia? It almost sounded like anesthetics. What's that? I'm matrilineally marrying all my daughters to the imperial dynasty. So the next heir is matrilineally married to my daughter? Well, 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 what a surprise. Belisarius, yes, please. Bardus, okay, sure. That's an interesting name. Carl the Monster, oh, this is glorious. I wonder, does he have some trait that makes him the monster in the dungeon? Annoyed the religious authorities. Uncrowned. Lack of funds. Poor man. A blessed has passed. Euphemio Oristani lived a pious life. Truly following the example of God, he passed on the 2nd of July, 789, and people have long wondered if he would be considered a true Christian or not. In the grand ceremony, Cardinal Angelo has declared Euphemio as a Christian, who indeed has entered heaven, celebrated by the people of Taurus as well as by the Christian world as a whole. So he is now a saint, I believe. Let's actually take a look. Does that show on the bloodline? I'm not... Yeah, he's been beatified. So, where is the bloodline thing? Well, I guess it's not really a saint, he's only been beatified. Obviously it's not going to show up as an iconoclastic though. But we'll see. I formed an alliance with the Duke of Mesopotamia. I also formed an alliance with the person here, but the Duke of Mesopotamia, heir to the throne of Byzantium, is currently in a war for Armenia. Don't really know if I actually would need to help him out. I might do it nonetheless, just for the sake of the friendship. Typical. So we were in a battle here. One moment I'm shouting orders surrounded by the clanging swords of swords and fighting around me. The next, everything goes dark as the world slips away from me. So I receive a crushing blow to the head, and I become incapable. Not only that, but my ally, who was about to inherit the throne, dies in battle, I think, and so the Emperor inherits that stuff. But at least, you know, the Emperor is actually married to one of my daughters, because he did usurp the throne. This is one of the brothers, so that's good. At least there's always some positives, some silver lining. I awoke from unending nightmare screaming. Oh, I'm not incapable any longer, I'm just a lunatic. The iconoclast faith is triumphant. Fantastic. Jesus is good. Glory to the Empire. Oh, I have the Great Pox as well. Fantastic, and I'm only 33. A plot to kill the usurper. He's 7, she's 11. Yeah, and that would free up my my wife. You know what? I don't know. Sounds fishy. I'm not doing this. This is interesting. So I think these days have really helped me getting, you know, I invited the Emperor over to my castle. We got to know each other. So I was honored to host the ambassador from the Moon King, because I'm a lunatic, or the Cruel Trade, of course. It gives me 20 for 10 years instead, and I am sure you enjoyed the visit to my torture chamber. Oh, gotta love Crusader Kings. Aha, here. Now we actually have an iconoclast. Lost your soul. Let's check if he is a saint. No, he isn't. My 13-year-old daughter, who is betrothed to the Emperor of Byzantium, the Emperor of Rome, wants to become a nun. Absolutely not. You're ruining the plan, dear daughter. Ah, my daughter just died of smallpox. I think it's been ravaging the provinces. Yes, it has. Ooh, the kill tab. So apparently, in one of the battles, I think here in Armenia, we actually killed someone here. The mayor of Kamishlo. Alright, the emperor and my daughter are married. They have a daughter themselves, my granddaughter Eudokia. And I have started voting for her as the heir to the empire. Hopefully they'll have a son that might gain more prestige and stuff and then actually become emperor. The emperor gives me 200 gold for a favor. Sure. Start of the Viking Age. From the fury of the Northmen deliver us. Alright. I don't have any coastal... Oh yeah, I do. I think the emperor handed me this one province here as a vassal. So we'll keep an eye on that. Damn it. They didn't have enough time to have a male heir. And so my granddaughter only became duchess in a faraway land. Wait, what? When did I inherit this? Was I given it? I think I was given it, right? The theme of Sardinia history. I was granted it just a few days ago. I guess the new emperor must be trying to get on my good side. Anyway, let's become kings. Glorious. A war against the tyranny of the emperor. Nah, can't be bothered. The conversion of Gaelic. The tribes of Gaelic have converted to the iconoclastic faith. I guess over here. Okay. That's pretty cool. Gregoria, I accept. Yes. Control marriage. I guess I'll wait a little bit with the marriages so we actually see what's available when she's older. Although, it does tend to be better to already decide now. Oh, personal combat skill can actually be negative. Alright, so trusting, kind, and drunkard. Pulls that down to -14. Alright, so one of my vassals declared a war for increased council power. The problem is, it's in Sardinia. I don't really have the ships to get all the way over there with my army. And most of my army is actually composed of allied forces. So I'm just hoping... What? What? Whoa! Okay. Alright. The ancient Germanic religion is proving unable to withstand the onslaught of the cross and the moon. Rather than abandoning the old ways, Theodoric and the most powerful priests have decided to reform the Germanic faith in order to defend its followers from infidel invaders. Firmly under the leadership of Filkur, the Germanic faith is ready to contend with its weak and effeminate opponents, be they missionaries or crusaders. This event could mark the beginning of a new era of pagan revivalism all throughout Europe and spell doom for the Abrahamic usurpers. That is so cool. And look at that, Saxony has really made some inroads. Filkur Theodoric reformed the faith. I guess he has that. If we take a look at the religions here, we can see that the Germanics, Nidaros, of course, Pathergo or whatever this is called. Why is it called? Have they changed the names of the things? What culture are you? Saxon. Okay. Yeah, and then Hualand. That's pretty crazy, though. So basically, when you reform a religion now, as a player, you can choose its traits. I think that the AI, when it reforms the religions, just goes for the default traits assigned for each specific religion. But here you can see high god, god names, evil god names, and then scripture, the sagas. And everything there is just like we are used to. Oh, looks like my allies are fighting my battles for me. Glorious. Wait, I was called into this rebellion of tyranny, But the claimant was my granddaughter. Yes, and she's won the war without my help. That is just so good. And also a new son. Fantastic. Yes. Stay with me. My war ended inconclusively. Really? I was at 99%? God damn it. Anyway, my granddaughter is now Empress. Okay? Oh, right, we're on the Dynastic map mode. I was like, why is the Dynasty suddenly the name of the empire? I wouldn't mind it, though. But that's how you go from 769 to 812 and place your dynasty on the throne. That's right. Duchess Euphemia died. That's unfortunate. That means my son is available for marriage, though. And now, of course, I'm going to nominate myself to the imperial throne. I wonder... Probably not enough votes, though. Yeah, I'm a lunatic. That's probably not a good idea. We'll find someone more suitable. And there we go. How did I die? Died of the Great Pox after many, many years. With that, age 53, a disturbed person. I was known throughout the lands as a raving madman. Many are cautiously rejoicing at the news of my death. Alright, I've lost some titles to my niece, of course, because they are of that sort, but I am still king, and I am Michael of Sardinia. Fantastic. I think that will have to be where we end this episode, though. We've done quite a bit. We've placed our dynasty on the throne. We've spread our dynasty throughout the empire, and we are poised to eventually take over the throne and restore the Roman Empire, restore the Hellenic faith, and ultimately restore Roman culture. Thank you so much for watching. This has been GameGabster. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you later. Farewell.